Welcome everyone to this webinar about how real estate companies can increase site visits using WhatsApp campaigns. This is an exciting webinar that we're hosting for you guys because it's coming out of experience that we've had deploying our WhatsApp campaigns feature for our customers. And we're excited to show it to you. We're excited to show it to you in action, and we're excited to um, show you what the possibilities are using WhatsApp campaigns. Before I move on to the next slide, I just want to make sure, Rhythm, everyone in the audience, you guys can hear me all right, right? I can see that my video is a little choppy, but as long as you guys can hear me, we should be good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, for me it's fine.
Awesome, awesome, great. So let's get started. As always, we like to start our webinars with intros just so that you guys know who we are and where our knowledge is coming from. We have two co-hosts for this webinar, as we always do for WhatsApp webinars. I'm your main co-host today, or maybe not main co-host, but the co-host slash moderator for the day. My name's Arnav, and I'm a content marketer over here at ours. And essentially, what my job is to create content just like this webinar to help you get the most out of your marketing and customer service stacks using chatbots. I'm joined today by Ritam Datta, who's on our WhatsApp webinars more often than not. He's a customer success manager with us, and he's actually in the trenches implementing the features that we talk about on this webinar for customers. Welcome to this webinar, Ritam.
Thank you, Arnav, for having me.
It's great to have you on, as always. Now, in terms of who we are as a company, for those of you who are not familiar with ours, we have been helping businesses engage with their customers over web and WhatsApp since 2016. WhatsApp is a little bit newer, web has been around since 2016. But the point is, we help businesses engage with their customers over these channels. And the tool that we use to do that is chatbots. Now, when we started off, we had a simple vision in mind, our founders did, which was that we wanted to improve the way businesses interact with their customers because we found that when we were navigating the web ourselves, we were experiencing far too many subpar, poor poor experiences, even when we were interacting with some of the largest companies out there. And that seemed unacceptable to us because it was 2020. We were supposed to have reached the era of digital marketing. Everything was supposed to be online, whether we wanted a customer service query resolved or whether we wanted to sign up for a product, it was supposed to be buttery smooth, and we found that that wasn't the case. So we set out to fix that, and the way we ended up fixing that was using chatbots. And that's what brings us to this webinar today. Over the last 4 years, we've developed an expertise in helping businesses engage more meaningfully with their customers over these channels. And we are sharing some of those insights with you today on this webinar. To give you some perspective as to who we work with, what sorts of companies we have helped with this. We work with some of the biggest, we've had the privilege of working with some of the biggest companies in India, actually across the world, really. And you can see some of their names over here. I think the names really speak for themselves, but we've helped companies of all shapes and sizes engage with their customers in a more meaningful way and deliver a better customer experience to them so that their customers don't have to go through the same bad experiences that we did back before 2016. So I'm sure you recognize some of the names on the screen right now. And I think the way you should be processing these names is if we can help these guys, we can probably help your business as well. Now, moving on to the actual webinar, we've kept the webinar super simple today, the structure super simple today. We are going to first introduce you to what WhatsApp marketing is. You can think about this first section as essentially the why of this webinar. So why are we on this webinar today? Why are we all gathered over here for an hour? Why are we taking an hour out of our day? Why am I up at 4:30 a.m. To do this webinar for you guys? We're going to be talking about why it makes sense to think about WhatsApp marketing and think about WhatsApp marketing campaigns, and in the context of your own marketing operations. In the second section, we are going to move on to the how of this webinar. So once we're convinced of why we want to incorporate WhatsApp campaigns into our marketing operations, we're going to discuss how it actually works to incorporate WhatsApp marketing campaigns into your marketing operations. And finally, section 3, the most fun section by far. Rhythm is actually going to show us a live demo of what this looks like to use WhatsApp marketing. So WhatsApp marketing in action. And then finally, in section 4, we'll open the floor up to questions. And that's where you guys will have access to us to ask us whatever questions you want about anything that we've discussed on this webinar, about our product, any questions that you have about life in general as well, if you like. But let's get started because we have a lot to cover in the next hour or so. I'm going to try to keep this first section short because I think we're all here mainly just to see WhatsApp marketing in action and see a live demo. So I'll try to keep this first section short, but I think we've prepared a pretty good slide deck. We've worked on the slide deck for weeks now. I think we've prepared a pretty good slide deck. So you guys are in for a treat. Now, as always, we like to structure our webinars, especially webinars like this, around a buyer journey, because at the end of the day, we are trying to solve problems in the buyer journey. We're trying to make the buyer journey that customers have more frictionless when they are interacting with your business. And the buyer journey that we are solving today is the buyer journey that we are solving today is the real estate buyer journey. And it looks something like this. You bring visitors to your listing, you try to capture their lead information so that they go into your CRM, then you nurture them so that they book a site visit to actually come and visit your property. Then you actually hold the site visit where they come for the site visit, you show them around, you try to convince them that this house or this apartment is for them. And then you try to close the deal. You send them financing information, you do whatever you need to nurture them till they buy the apartment or the house. Now, to understand where the issues come up in this buyer journey, let's take a look at this buyer journey from the perspective of an actual buyer as they're going through it. So the first thing that you do, obviously, as a real estate company is you run your marketing campaigns. You run ads, you run SEO, you maybe run organic social media campaigns to bring prospective buyers to your listings. Every real estate company does this. Nothing special about this, nothing new. We've been doing it for years now. People click on your ad and they check out your landing page. You've probably invested a good amount of time in building your creatives. So when people land, they have all the information they need. They have great pictures to look at, great floor plans to look at. They have everything that they need on the page. And they look through that landing page. And now it's crunch time. Now it's time to actually collect information from them. So you've convinced them using your awesome creatives that your apartment is cool, or the house that you're trying to sell them is the sort of house that they're looking for. If you run your ad targeting correct as well, it should be a good fit for them. And now it's time to get their contact information so that you can get them into your CRM and nurture them till they eventually close at the end of the buyer journey. So you pull out Old Faithful, your lead capture form. Pretty much every real estate marketer out there is using a lead capture form on their landing page to capture all of this information. But let's face it, lead capture forms are broken. No one likes filling out forms. They're unengaging. And what I mean by unengaging is that every additional form field you add to a lead capture form results in a lower conversion rate. And the reason for that is that people just don't like filling out forms. Conversion rates on landing pages that use forms are abysmally low. Across industries, they are below 10%. So that means 90% of all of the ad spend that you have, all of the time and effort that you spend on bringing people to your page as well, is going down the drain just because people don't want to fill out your form. But of course, even if conversion rates are low, they are not at zero. So you're still able to convert some leads on your page and get them into your CRM. And once they're in your CRM, you can run your lead nurturing campaigns to get them to book a site visit. Now they're in your CRM, you've captured their lead information. You've lost some people because you were using an unengaging form, but you've got some people into your CRM and you can start running your nurturing campaigns to get them to book a site visit. So move to the next stage of the buyer journey. So let's take a look at what your lead nurturing options are and what issues arise with each one of them. If you captured their email, the prospect's email, you can run email sequences on them. But we know the issues with email sequences. Getting into someone's primary inbox is a near impossible task in 2021. Only the best of the best are able to do it. And quite frankly, it's impossible for the rest of us. Open rates are low, CTRs are low. you're going to end up in people's promotion tabs. And this is something people don't talk about often when we're talking about email sequences, but email marketing campaigns are just one-way forms of communication. You're blasting people with information, but you're not expecting a response back from them. And this is evident by the fact that when you send out email marketing campaigns, the email that you're sending it from is always no reply at yourcompanyname.com. And that is a real issue as far as we're concerned, because we want to create meaningful engagement with customers. So having this one-way information blast form of communication just doesn't work. It's not going to result in meaningful engagement with your customers, and it's not going to make for meaningful lead nurturing. So let's look at the other channels that you have at your disposal. You could run SMS campaigns, but you're facing a lot of the same headwinds. You have crowded inboxes, and depending on your geography, people are not going to check their messages because they're primed for their SMS inboxes to be filled with OTP SMSs, spam, and other promotional texts. So people just aren't checking their SMSs because that's not where they get any meaningful communication. So even if you do send out the best text marketing campaigns, you're going to have low open rates and low CTRs. And again, in most cases, it's a one-way form of communication because, again, people can't respond to your text. They're usually clicking on a link, and then they're engaging on a landing page. You're just blasting them with information through your SMS marketing campaigns. Now, actually, when we were making these slides, Ritam pointed out to me, we put this screenshot in because someone from our team actually got this SMS, and they were like, hey, you guys should include this in the slides because you're talking about SMS marketing campaigns for real estate in this slide. And Ritam pointed out to me that to get across this idea of crowded inboxes and people not checking their messages, if you look closely at this screenshot that we've added over here, the number of unread messages in this person's SMS inbox is 2,126 messages. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my SMS inbox looks kind of similar. I don't check my messages. And since we're talking about WhatsApp today, how many of you guys have 2,000 unread messages on WhatsApp? I certainly don't. Most of us probably have 0 unread messages on WhatsApp. Or even if we have unread messages on WhatsApp, they're few, and we're probably going to end up checking them all. So these are the issues with SMS marketing campaigns. Similar story to emails. Another viable option for a lot of real estate companies is to just call people. So you have their phone numbers, you capture their phone numbers on your landing page. Now what you can do is you can call them and have an actual agent on the phone get them to book a site visit. But people don't pick up their phones if it's an unknown number. So again, your conversion rate is going to be low. And to compound that issue, I mean, don't get me wrong, phone calls are going to be more effective than your SMS marketing campaigns or email marketing campaigns, but they also that extra engagement that you get over there comes with a trade-off. You are going to have to deal with the stress, time, and money that you have to invest in running a human call center operation, running HR, running payroll. Doing all of those things is going to add a lot to your plate. It's a huge operational lift for a lot of real estate companies. So again, an imperfect solution to this lead nurturing problem. You can also run retargeting campaigns, but let's be real, retargeting campaigns, they're not really lead nurturing. They just give you another attempt at lead capture, really, because you're just bringing people back to a landing page. So again, not really achieving what we want it to achieve. And the end result is that all of your lead nurturing efforts are futile. They're not engaging people at the levels that we want to engage them at. And that translates into fewer bookings for you because you're getting less information in front of your target customer. You're getting less information in front of these leads that you've worked so hard to get into your CRM. But again, it's not like you can't nurture all of these leads to book a site visit. It's just that a lot of these leads who could have otherwise turned into site visits, if you actually got the information in front of them, have not booked the site visit. But there is still a small fraction of people who are booking those site visits. But even for those people, once they've made that booking, it's not a guarantee that they'll actually show up to the site visit. This is why in the initial buyer journey diagram, we separated hosting the site visit and booking the site visit. Because once they book the site visit, you still need to convince them to show up. Having no shows for site visits is sort of the death knell for any real estate buyer journey, because whether someone shows up or not is going to decide whether they're a good lead or a bad lead to follow up on, to try and close the deal. Because no one's going to buy a house without actually seeing it in person, or most people aren't going to buy a house or an apartment without seeing it in person. So to get them to show up for a site visit, what do? You have to nurture them again. You have to give them information to keep them interested in the apartment and actually take out the time from their day to show up to the apartment for that site visit. But again, you are relying on the same low engagement channels that we talked about before. And the end result is you have more no-shows than you expect. No matter how hard you try, no matter how many SMSs you send, no matter how many emails you send, the information is not getting to your leads. So they're not actually being nurtured, and they're actually not going to show up for your site visits. I'm also going to turn off my video because it's really choppy over here. It's kind of distracting for me as well. And see if that helps our connection over here. So that leads to more no-shows. But again, as with every stage of this journey, we're talking about fractions. So your numerator is going down because your nurturing isn't doing such a good job, but it's not going down to zero. So you still do get some people to show up for your site visit. But again, your job isn't done. You still need to get these people who showed up to the site. Your person on site wowed them. They showed them all of the amenities. They did a great job of convincing them this apartment was for them. But that's not really the whole job done. You can't rest easy. You can't say, they came for the site visit. They enjoyed the apartment. Now it's up to them. And if they want to buy the apartment, they'll do it. If they don't, they don't. You have to still nurture them. You have to take them across the line. You have to send them financing information. You have to tell them what it looks like to actually buy the apartment and get the idea planted in their head that they're going to buy the apartment. So again, you need to do more lead nurturing to shepherd them across the finish line. And that in turn means more lost business, because again, your lead nurturing is only as good as the channel that you use, and you're relying on the same flawed ones that you were using before. I'm just going to do a quick time check over here. I think we're doing pretty good on time, considering we started a little late, but let's get a move on. Now, the bottom line of this whole story is that you are having lead leakage at every single stage of this buyer journey. And what we're trying to solve today with WhatsApp marketing is this lead leakage problem. We're trying to get more people to move between the stages of this buyer journey without leaving it, so that all of the time, effort, and money you invest in bringing people to your listings isn't wasted. So let's talk about WhatsApp marketing, because WhatsApp marketing is the solution that we are discussing today. Now, a good place to start when we're talking about what WhatsApp marketing is actually talking about what WhatsApp marketing is not. And what WhatsApp marketing is not is just chatbots, just notifications, and just something that you want to do because others are doing it. We have too many conversations today where we're talking to people about WhatsApp marketing, and they think that WhatsApp marketing is this. Oh, I implement a WhatsApp chatbot, that's WhatsApp marketing. I'm sending notifications through WhatsApp, that's WhatsApp marketing. My competitors are doing WhatsApp marketing. They have a WhatsApp chatbot, they're running notifications. I want to do it as well. That's not how you should be thinking about this technology. When you're thinking about this technology, think about it in the context of the problem that we were talking about, and think about it like this. Think of WhatsApp marketing as a completely new customer engagement channel. Just like you have your landing pages, just like you have social media, you now have a new engagement channel called WhatsApp. And on this engagement channel, you can do what you do with all your other engagement channels. You can build an audience, you can drive conversations, which is actually a new thing. On most engagement channels, you don't drive conversations. Think back to email and SMS, the slides where we were talking about email and SMS, they were one-way forms of communication. You can drive actual conversations, back and forth conversations on WhatsApp, and you can re-engage your customers. So with other channels, you just blasting emails, blasting SMSs in the hopes that people are going to respond. In WhatsApp, you're having a conversation with them, and then you are trying to re-engage them in the future to continue having that same conversation. So that is how you should be thinking about WhatsApp marketing. Now, the reason WhatsApp marketing really matters is because of the numbers that are behind WhatsApp. If we were talking about any other messaging app, it would be all well and good to talk about what it is, but if no one is there on the messaging app, it's not really going to help you. But there are a lot of people on WhatsApp, and they're using WhatsApp considerably. There are 2 billion daily, maybe not daily active users, but 2 billion active users on WhatsApp. They send 65 billion messages daily, and it's the #1 downloaded messaging app in the world. And you don't even need to look at these stats. Just think about your friends and your family, and even yourself. How often do you use WhatsApp to talk to your friends and family? Probably a lot if you're on this webinar. And that is really the engagement that we are tapping into using WhatsApp marketing. And what's more is that everyone has WhatsApp, everyone has SMS as well. But the thing is, people are actually checking their WhatsApp right now. So what we've seen in our campaigns is we've seen a 70% plus open rate and a 40% response rate. You're not going to see these numbers in any other channel. Show me an SMS campaign or show me an email marketing campaign that has these numbers, and I'll concede defeat, but it's likely that you're not getting these numbers on any of your other nurturing campaigns. And also, unlike those low engagement email and SMS campaigns, you're actually developing a two-way form of communication with your customers. So not only are people opening up the messages that you send them, but they're actually responding to those messages, and then you're engaging them in a conversation on the spot instead of just blasting them with information. So let's look at that buyer journey again really quick before I hand it off to Ritam, just to see what it looks like to use WhatsApp marketing in your marketing stack. So you're running ads again to bring prospective buyers to your listing, but instead of directing them to a landing page, you either direct them directly to a WhatsApp business number. This is possible through Facebook ads. Facebook ads can drop people directly into a WhatsApp conversation, or you direct them to a landing page which has a WhatsApp widget on it. And then once they look at all of the pictures on your landing page, they can click on that widget to be dropped into the same WhatsApp business number that we see in the first point over here. Now the chatbot answers all of the chatbot that lives on that number answers all of the customers' questions, and more importantly, it captures their lead information, which you can send to your CRM. And this way of lead capture, this way of engaging with customers works better because, again, it's a two-way form of communication. It's engaging, it's mobile optimized, it's very easy to use WhatsApp on your phone, and it translates into a 50% higher conversion rate. So that low conversion rate problem we were talking about with forms in the first part, that no longer exists. You're converting 50% more people without investing more time, effort, or money into your marketing campaigns. But you've captured more leads now. So you've captured more leads now. You've sent them to your CRM. But not only have you done that, you've also created an open line of communication with your prospects on WhatsApp. That conversation that they started is going to be open in their inbox forever, essentially, because who goes back and deletes a WhatsApp conversation? And you can rekindle that conversation. You can restart that conversation in the future using campaigns to nurture the customer. So that's what we're going to see in the next couple of steps. So instead of relying solely on email, text, phone calls, etc., to re-engage with your customers, you can, in that same conversation, restart the conversation to share information with your customers. So let's say at the beginning, in the first part of the buyer journey, where you're trying to convince them to book a site visit, you can send them another message maybe a week down the line. If you weren't able to book a site visit with them in the first conversation you had, you can send them a message saying, hey, you are interested in this property. Do you want to book a site visit? Or maybe you could just pepper them with some informational content about the property. You can send them information about amenities. You can send them information about floor plans. Just be informative with them. Give them information that they already want, that they don't have yet through this conversation. And again, because open rates are high, because response rates are high, they're actually going to read this information, and they're actually going to have an ability to respond to this information and take action on the spot. They're actually going to be able to book that site visit on the spot. They're actually going to be able to respond to that information that you're sending to them on the spot. And the end result of that is that more people actually book a site visit because more people are actually seeing your nurturing campaigns. But the value doesn't end there, because you can use the same engagement to get people to show up for your site visit. So now you've gotten more people to actually book the site visit for you. First of all, you've captured more leads. You've gotten more of those leads to book site visits with you because your nurturing campaigns are actually working. Now you can use those same nurturing campaigns to make people show up for your site visit. So you can send a different set of re-engagement campaigns over here. You can send them be sure to ask about campaigns, where you say, hey, when you go for your site visit, be sure to ask about this. Or you could send them a site visit checklist. Say, hey, when you go for your site visit, be sure to look out for these things. Or just send them, again, more information about the property that you think would help them on their site visit with you. And once the site visit is over, it's the same story again. You can nurture the customers again to closure. And okay, over here, obviously the information will be different, but the value is the same. You can send them financing information. You can send suggestions for other properties that could fit their needs if they weren't particularly interested in the site visit. You could send them information about new developments of the property. Say, hey, look, we finished construction on our pool. And that could sort of push them over the line, make them more excited and actually pull the trigger to buy the apartment or buy the house. So you're sending different information, but the value is the same because people are actually going to read this information. You were anyway sending all of this information to them. Now they're just going to read it because you're sending it to them on a channel on WhatsApp where they are actually opening up the messages. And the end result of this, by the end of the journey, is that you have more people going from each stage of the journey to the next, and that compounds. You just have more people buying homes at the end of the buyer journey. So the story of lead leakage has been flipped into one where you're actually increasing sales. So all of those people who are leaving the journey, or at least some of those people who are leaving the journey, are being redirected back into the journey at each stage so that you have more people at the end of the buyer journey. And I think that, I hope, is a compelling enough story for you guys to be convinced about why WhatsApp marketing makes sense, why you might want to incorporate these campaigns. And I think this is a good point for me to hand it off to Rhythm to show you what this actually looks like in person, now that it's fresh in our minds, why it makes sense to incorporate in our campaigns.
So let me share my screen
Yep.
quickly. Yeah, you can see this, right?
Yep, we can see it.
Yeah, so the how part of WhatsApp marketing is pretty easy, but there are some prerequisites like to get started with WhatsApp marketing with TARS. The first thing is to get a WhatsApp business API, and to explain that, like beforehand, I want to explain like what is the difference between a normal WhatsApp business account and WhatsApp business API account. So a normal WhatsApp business account is basically a consumer app that is sitting on your phone, and you can have a one-on-one conversation with your consumer. And the only thing like how it differs from the normal consumer app is that the person will be able to see that you are chatting with a business account. But with WhatsApp Business API, you can send high volumes of messages and you can set automations as well. Now, to start with WhatsApp marketing, there are these 3 steps that you need to take care of. So the first thing is getting the WhatsApp Business API, which is the most time-consuming process. Now, it is not time-consuming for all the businesses. Like if you have a good Facebook presence, if you have your Facebook business account verified, then I would say like it would probably take 3 to 4 days. But in case that is not there in place, then Facebook itself takes about 2 to 3 weeks to verify your business and then give you access to WhatsApp Business API. So once you have the WhatsApp Business API in place, I'll be just toggling my screen between the slides and the dashboard. So this is what our dashboard looks like once you log into it. And once you have the WhatsApp Business APIs in place, we can just go to the settings section. We can go to WhatsApp over here, and we can simply click on add a number. Just type down your WhatsApp business number and your WhatsApp API key. Now again, like as a customer, as our customer, you don't have to do much in this because we'll be assisting you with every step. You just have to fill out a form. And once you fill out the form, once you submit the form, like we'll take care of rest of the things. Like we'll be in touch with the WhatsApp Business API BSPs, and we'll basically generate the API key for you and get you started with the WhatsApp chatbot. So the next thing is building a WhatsApp chatbot conversational flow. Now, those of you who had used TARS chatbot platform, like the TARS builder, would know like how easy it is to create a chat flow in it. So even if you haven't used it, like if you have used any sort of automation or workflows, then it is pretty easy to like make a chatbot inside the TARS dashboard. So as you can see, like this is how it looks like. This is like all these boxes, we call it as gambits, and once you go inside the gambits, you can have these message bubbles inside there. You can have different type of input types, like in this particular case I've put it as cards, and each input type, basically each card or button basically leads you to a different branch and connects you to a different gambit. So as you can see, like I'll show how the web version of this chatbot looks like. So as you can see, like these Gambit message bubbles have popped up, these cards have popped up, and if I select any of these cards, it will take me to the next Gambit. Now it basically like so the chatbot that we had made is like finding your perfect property in Goa. So I have selected Vagator, and in Vagator I can see like these are the properties I can select. I've clicked on this. How would you like to proceed next? Now again, like it is joining me to the services gambit. Now in the services gambit, again there are four options: speak with an agent, schedule a visit, check the blueprint, and take a virtual tour. Now, this is the builder part. Like we do have a lot of resources around how to build a conversational flow. Like I myself built it in like say about 20 to 30 minutes. So we have around 900 templates, and I basically used a template and just made some edits in there. Now coming to the next step, like after building the conversational flow, now the next thing is building your WhatsApp audience. Now in any type of mass marketing that you use, for example, an email marketing or suppose an SMS marketing. So there are certain set of rules that are in place. Like for emails, all email accounts have, like all email service providers have spam filters just to check that you are not spamming your audience. And in case of SMS, like I would say in India, you have this TRAI who takes care of the type of messages that you are sending to a bulk set of users. So same goes with WhatsApp as well. Like WhatsApp keeps that in place using two things. The first thing is what you can send, and the next thing is who you can send it to. Now I'll come to the like I'll start with the second point is who you can send it to. So with according to WhatsApp policies, the audience that you are sending to must have taken opt-in to receive WhatsApp messages on your behalf from your business. So like there are different ways to get opt-ins. Like you can basically like drive them to your WhatsApp chatbot and make them converse with it. The other thing can be you can have a form lying in your website, and in that form, below that form, you can have a checkbox saying that allow this business to send messages to my WhatsApp number. So like as I said, there are multiple ways. Like you can, and also like as Arnav might have mentioned before, like you can use like a WhatsApp account can basically be converted to a link and a QR code. Now this link can be added to your Facebook ads, it can be added in your email campaigns, in your SMS campaigns, and once they click on that link or that CTA, they'll just they land on your WhatsApp chatbot, and once they reply hi, it means that you got an opt-in from that particular customer. Now I'll show you the first part, like how a WhatsApp chatbot widget works. So this is the landing page that we had created. This is a WhatsApp widget that you can see. It is basically like it basically has a link of WhatsApp, our WhatsApp number. So if I click on this link, it will take me to this particular. I don't have the app, so I'll click on use WhatsApp web. And you can have a pre-fed message inside the text box as well. So I'll show you how it appears like. So this always takes some time. Yeah. So as you can see, I landed on this particular chat, and there is a pre-fed message saying, "Hi, I want to speak to someone from sales." Now again, this message also can be changed as per you like. Now, once I click enter, it will basically start my conversation with the chatbot. Now, as you can see, the same chatbot that was running on the web version is working here. And in place of cards, we have these numbered list. So, hola, welcome to Tars Properties Limited. We are here to help you find the perfect abode in Goa. So, suppose I choose option one, Vagator. Now, it will show me the properties that are there in Vagator, and I can select any property from here. And the next thing is the services part. Like if I want to speak with an agent, if I want to schedule a visit, if I want to check the blueprint or take a virtual tour. Now again, like in the WhatsApp chatbot, you can push multimedia files, rich media files, so that the catalog or the blueprint, you can send it in the WhatsApp chatbot itself. Like as you can see, this is basically a PDF of the blueprint. Now again, it looped me back into the main menu. Now suppose I want to take a virtual tour. Then I selected option 4 and showed me a video. Now, this is basically a previous webinar that we had. Now, suppose I want to schedule a visit now. Now, the campaigns part, which I will take you through, will basically show you how we can prevent the drop-offs. Now, if I click on schedule a visit, it will ask me like on which day I want to schedule my visit. Now, again, like all these things can be connected with your CRM. Like in real time, all these things, like if I have if I have selected schedule a visit, the same information can be passed on to your CRM saying that this particular number has scheduled a visit. For, say, suppose I book for Thursday. Now it will ask me the time slot. So I select the fourth one, which is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So this is how an opt-in looks like, and this is how a WhatsApp chatbot looks like. So you have conversed with the WhatsApp chatbot. You have you have scheduled a visit to the property that you have selected. Now coming to the last part that Arnav was taking you through, like how to prevent no-shows. Now, suppose I have conversed with the WhatsApp chatbot. My slot is booked for, say, Thursday. Now, if Wednesday, if I want to, if I want to send a reminder to the customer, like, hey, just a reminder, like, your thing is like your schedule, like your visit is scheduled for tomorrow. Would you like to, you can reply with hi to confirm it, or you can reply with no to reschedule it. So that way, like we can prevent the drop-offs basically from WhatsApp itself without involving a customer service agent or without involving your call center. Now, coming to the first part of what you can send in WhatsApp campaigns. Now, as you may know, that TRAI in India does not allow you to send any message. It has to be approved by the TRAI agency. In same ways, like WhatsApp also has, like we have to send a template, we have to submit a template to the WhatsApp team. Once they approve the template, only then we can use that template to send to a bulk set of users. Now, if I click on add a number, sorry, not add a number, like these are the numbers that that are already added in my account. If I click on add a template message, I can basically name the template message to anything, and I can type in anything like whatever the template message should be. Now, again, WhatsApp says the template message should not be promotional in nature. It has to help out the users. It can be a reminder, it can be an alert, or it can be, say, you are sending an invoice over WhatsApp. So all of those sort of messages are approved very quickly by WhatsApp, and all these things can be done from our dashboard itself. You just have to click on add a template, and once you submit, the status of the template you'll be able to see over here, like approved or rejected or submitted. So there are three statuses that you'll be able to see. But yeah, now coming again to once the template message is approved, now what next? Like how to retarget your users. So I have kept my phone number over here. I'll show you how it works. So basically, you need to upload a CSV file in your campaign thing. WhatsApp webinar sheet one. I click on save, it will get downloaded. And yeah, this is your chatbot dashboard. If you go to the distribute share section, click on WhatsApp and click on create campaign. So if I just have to name this campaign, say suppose I name it as webinar 2007. I'll upload this file, which has the list of users who have opted in to receive messages from me. And I have already gotten a pre-approved template message from WhatsApp, which is service. Sorry, this is not the one. Yeah, this is the one. Appointment reminder. So it says, greetings from TARS, dear customer. It seems you had a visit scheduled for tomorrow, 5 p.m. at our property. Kindly reply with yes to confirm and no to reschedule. Now, again, depending on the customer response, like if they reply with yes or no, we can take them to different branches. Now, all we need to do is click on create campaign and hit this run campaign. Now, once I do that, I'll probably receive a message. Yeah. So I conversed with the WhatsApp chatbot. I scheduled a visit, but then again, like to prevent me dropping off from a no-show, we can the company, the TARS Property Limited, basically sent me a WhatsApp appointment reminder saying that your appointment is scheduled, and you can basically confirm by saying, replying hi to this. So this is how the entire piece works, and yeah, that was it. Any questions? Like we can move on to the questions part.
Thanks for that demo, Rhythm. Yeah, we can merge sections 3 and 4 together, which I think is a good way of doing it because you can show while you explain. Yeah, that's pretty much it for our demo, and we basically discussed the how and the why of WhatsApp chatbots. I think we can move on to the Q&A section of the webinar. We'd love to hear any questions that you guys have about this feature, about any of our other features. Now's your opportunity to drop it into the chat for us. What I am going to do is pull up our contact card so that you know how to contact us. I believe, just a second. Screen share over here. So while you guys are typing your questions out, what I'm going to do is pull up our contact card. I actually have our founder's contact card over here, so you can reach out to him with any questions about WhatsApp. He is on this webinar right now, and he is keenly tracking the progress of WhatsApp. He actually helped us make these slides, so if you want to send any feedback about the slides as well, he's the person to send it to. These are the details that you can use to contact us, contact him. I suggest going to the hellotars.com/demo section of this contact card, because that's where you can actually book a demo with us to actually essentially get a personalized webinar where we'll walk you through some of the same stuff, but in the context of your business in particular, and you'll have complete access to us to ask us any questions that you want. But anyways, we have our first question over here from Alex. Alex asks us, would you say about the WhatsApp options, are they user-friendly enough? I mean, we haven't really we've been running campaigns for a little bit now, right, Rhythm? And we've been running WhatsApp chatbots for a little while. But we haven't really had an issue getting people to engage with them. They find it pretty intuitive. You'd be surprised at how intuitive people find it, just because they're used to using WhatsApp. And it's not a particularly new form of input for them, so they don't really have an issue.
Right. So I guess like Alex is asking about the input types, like the options that we have provided. Like currently these are numbered options, but WhatsApp has recently released a feature wherein we can use buttons as well inside the WhatsApp chatbot. So yeah, we would be releasing that feature as well in a month or so. But currently we have numbered options, and it is not again, like it is not necessary that you have to reply with the number. If you reply with any keyword that is there in the options, the WhatsApp chatbot will probably take you to that particular branch.
Awesome. We have another question over here from Miral. From where can we receive WhatsApp API access? Could you please elaborate a bit further? A bit on that, please.
So you can get in touch with us. We can share a form with you. All you need to do is submit that form, and we'll take care of the rest. Like we'll get the API access, and we'll get your chatbot configured with WhatsApp.
So Miral, I suggest that you check the chat. We've dropped some links on how you can book a demo with us. Book a demo with us, and then we can discuss on that demo how to get you set up with a WhatsApp API access. Rhythm over here is a WhatsApp API whiz. He's done it for several of our customers, and it's very easy for us to do now. We've developed a pretty good
now like it's a seamless process for us as well.
Yeah. So answered that question. Any more questions, guys? We'd love to hear from you. All right, we don't have any questions. Great. I guess we just did a really good job of presenting all our information. So uh, I think we can end the webinar over there. We are really good on time and everyone can go about their days. Thank you everyone for joining us on this webinar. As always, we will send you guys a recording for this webinar. After it's done, it takes Zoom a little bit of time to process the recording, but once it's processed, we'll upload it to our webpage. We'll upload the slides and we'll send it to you. We also stream this entire webinar live on YouTube. So you can hop over to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look up Tara's Chatbots. You should find our YouTube channel. Over there, you should be able to see our webinar in a couple of minutes. It should go live because we did stream this whole thing to YouTube. But that's it from us. Keep a lookout for our next webinar. We're hosting one on the 27th, and then we're about to announce one for the 29th as well. Keep a lookout for those webinars. Sign up for them. We'll see you on those webinars as well. Yep, my colleague over here, Abhilash, has shared a link to our next WhatsApp webinar, which is happening on the 27th. Be sure to join us for that. But it's been a pleasure hosting this for you guys. Ritam, thank you for joining us as a co-host. As always, a lot of useful information.
Thank you, Arnav. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yep. And we'll end it over there. Thanks.